Hey yo guys, this probably isn't going to be about anything wrestling or MMA related, or this is kind of me on the crazy Mike flow that he's been doing, kind of talking about, different topics and I guess kind of relationship stuff. I wouldn't call it really relationship stuff, but stuff around that whole area, which I think it's a great idea to talk about and branch out of your niche that we normally talk about, because we're really just people. We don't spend our whole lives just watching that stuff all the time. So we're people. We got stuff that goes on in our lives. Um, so really, I just wanted to make this video because I have a lot of stuff on my mind, and I just felt it's easier to get it out through this than me writing it out. I try to do it now. I'm not a person that can write that well, unless it is about sports or anything like that. But I'm terrible with English like that. But anyways, so many of you probably don't know this, but I just like this past weekend graduated from college. I just studied television broadcasting and I graduated from it, and so far things are actually working out pretty well. I've done some stuff on TV already. I haven't got any, money or big money for it yet or anything like that, but still, I'm on TV doing local community stuff, doing what I would love to do in the industry, be an on-air personality for sports, and that's basically what I'm doing. And I guess the thing that this whole college experience taught me to the fullest is the old cliches expression would be never judge a book by its cover, because that to me is just perfect for what I thought of everyone in my program. Now, because I was studying TV broadcasting at the time, they were only letting a certain like 30 people in. So the 30 people that were there were basically, that was our program. It was kind of like high school and elementary school, sort of like in terms of class size. You didn't have like 500 kids in a class or anything like that. So we kind of really got to become close as people. So I guess I should just start this video by explaining, starting out in the program. And I remember walking in on the first day and just sitting down and thinking, I'm gonna hate this program. First of all, like there's all these geeky guys and they're talking about shit I don't even care about. I tried to talk to a guy about, sports, and he had nothing, like no knowledge of it, like or anything like that. Which I was like, how can these guys not know anything about sports? Like, what the hell? And then I remember looking around the room and just seeing like this girl was like there, and I'm just like, wow, why is this really, really, this really pretty girl in this program? And I'm like, she's it's like out of place here. This doesn't make sense. The guys are really geeky. I mean, there's some other good-looking girls, but there's no one on this girl's level, and I was just aghast by it. But I just thought to myself, well, I mean, she's here, but it's not like she's gonna talk to me. None of the super pretty girls talk to me, in high school or anything like that. Or if I try to talk to them, it would end up, I try to make a joke and they wouldn't have much of a personality, which always seemed to be the case with me. Um, so really, first year was more of us kind of getting out of and meeting each other and stuff like that, and it was more kind of people picking friends. It was kind of like high school, sort of, where you have your certain guys you hang out with, and that's really it. You kind of tell the rest of the class, hi, and that's really about it. And that was kind of what it was like with this girl, and I was just like, whatever, we'll just probably say hi, and that'll be about it. But really, I'd say this year, second year, would be the turning point of the whole thing, as one of the units we had to do was a hockey mobile. Basically, we got to shoot a hockey game. Now, of course, from Canada, hockey is a big, big deal to me, especially hockey on TV. Like, some of my favorite sporting memories are hockey related. So when I found out about this, I'm like, this is going to be the greatest unit ever. Like, I cannot do bad in this unit. So we had to do two games. There's for the local university that's in this area as well. We had to do their men's hockey team and the women's hockey team. I did basically a lot of the prep work in terms of like shooting the games ahead of time so you could get B-roll to build intros. And I went with the producer who was like probably one of my best friends in the program. So we did it, and we got to have a lot of fun there. And we got to make jokes and just watch sports. Basically, we were like, we're kind of living our dreams too. We're shooting sports. Like that's awesome. We're doing something involved with sports. So now I was just like, whatever. I'll do the commentary for the women's game because he wanted me to, and I was like, and the women's team was actually a really really good team, and they like embarrassed some of the teams. But anyways, it's besides the point. So because it's such a small class, and to do this hockey stuff, it's kind of a big job. They needed to have enough jobs for people to, get a good mark, or actually so you could get a mark. So they decided to do this thing called a flight pack. It's just basically a mini version of TV, just get compact in this like big box. It's got like a switcher built in and stuff like that. I mean, I won't get into the technical aspects of it because I still kind of don't understand some of that stuff. But so they did these flight packs, and first of all, I wanted to do nothing flight pack. I was a guy that was just like, I want to do my game and just worry about that. I don't want to do anything else involving, being on air for, for the men's game. Even though the men's game is a big game, I don't really want to be involved with that stuff. So, because, like I said before, most of the guys knew absolutely nothing about sports, and the guy that was stuck producing this flight pack asked me to do it because I know a lot about sports and hockey, and I'd watched that men's team play a couple of games and could help you tell a good story. And I watched the other team play because there are two schools in the same county that are big rivalries. So I host it. I find out I'm hosting it with this really pretty girl, and I'm like, oh goody, this can't go well because I just thought, she was gonna not care, not gonna give it 110% in the whole part of TV, doing the research and looking up stats and just so we can have stuff to banter off of. I just remember now we get to like the whole process before we even get to the game. It's just like we're doing the research and stuff, and I'm just like, I was like blown away by this. First of all, this girl's work ethic, because a lot of people are like, this girl has got no work ethic and doesn't want to do anything. So she had like a work ethic. It was like, this actually impressed me. Other than that, too, like you could make jokes with her and she'd smile and laugh and not treat you like an idiot. Because I was more blown away about that. I mean, you could joke about her with like anything, like what was going on in current affairs. I think at that time, not Charlie Sheen stuff happened later, but anyways, anything of current affairs. The players' last names, or the thing I find like interesting about girls is you can make jokes about them and they'll laugh at themselves. Because I'm the kind of guy that likes to make jokes. I can make jokes about myself and laugh at myself, as well as I'll make little jokes about people. Sometimes some people take it really serious, so I don't know how to take that stuff. So she could laugh at herself, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this girl, like, I didn't expect you to be like this kind of a person. Like, you have a work ethic and you have a personality. What? Like, are you from Mars? You're not around there. But she, and the fact that she'd like stay extra to like do some of the stuff. Like, I thought if any other girl in our program, they'd just be there for like maybe an hour and leave because where it's like, it's sports, I don't care. This girl will be there for a couple hours helping do research, helping do voiceovers for the game that they wanted her to do a voiceover for. So I'm like, what the hell? This girl's like from Mars. This can't be real. So we get to the game, and she's kind of nervous because she hasn't done much on-air stuff, or what other stuff she had done, she wasn't too confident. I'm a very confident person when it comes to being on camera, since I've been doing this YouTube stuff for what now, 3-4 years, something like that. So when a camera's on me, I don't get nervous. I just more get anxious so we can do the show, get it done, and it come off well. My confidence still wasn't up on the show. I was pretty confident this would not go well because you can build up confidence in people that aren't like to the point before they get on camera, but when the camera shines on them, they just melt. And I've seen it happen a bajillion times. It happens. So we go to the shoot and stuff. She's basically kind of freaking out, and I'm just like, don't worry, the show will go fine. Because I was just basically like, if you host the thing, welcome us into the show, and from out a break, and just let me carry the load, the show will go fine. But they basically wanted it to be a question answer kind of way to introduce the game, and so make sure people would understand how things were. So she'd have to come up with questions to ask me, so I could sound intelligent, and she had to come up with intelligent questions so she would sound intelligent. This freaked her out even more. So we took some time, we sat down, started writing questions that could help tell a story, because that's really what anything that airs on TV or comes across here is. You got to tell a story. That's all it is. And we're doing that, and she's kind of gaining her confidence and stuff. So now, because it was it's college, right? We had a class that day, and it was like your elective class. For me, I was like, hell no, I'm not leaving. I have hockey here, and I'd rather stay and do something I want to do than this stupid elective class that I'm already passing and I'm gonna pass. So I decided not to go to it. She did, because I guess she was so nervous and wanted to, think about more questions, or something. I just don't know. So she comes back from class, and is freaking out, and like we're gonna do terrible and stuff, and I'm just telling her, no, we're gonna do fine. I was only telling her we're gonna do fine because I also thought we were going to do absolutely terrible. I thought this was gonna be the worst thing ever, especially in the first 30 seconds. So we get out there, the show starts, and she has to host, like, carry it for like a minute and a half, and a minute and a half in TV can be a long time. And I'm just standing there literally watching her, and I'm like blown away at her ability to not to like to stretch this stuff. And before she can get to me and ask me questions, I was like blown away at how well this thing went off. I'm like, she came up with these questions herself. She knew what she was talking about. She came off well, and she could hand it off to me when she wasn't worried. So I mean, we had chemistry right off the bat, and I was just blown away at how well that thing turned out right there. Because normally you just don't get people that can fit in that situation quite well, especially someone where you're thinking they don't have work ethic, they don't care to do this, they really just care about themselves and just want to get it over with. But she cared about the whole thing, which also blew me away. So I was just like, this may be like one of the first people in our program that I've actually got like respect for, because people just told me all this stuff about her, and I was terrible, and not a good good person in general. But you actually get to meet these people, and it comes off differently, and your perception changes because you're meeting them and talking to them, and it's like, no, these people, they're down to earth, and they're they're good people, they're sweet people, they care about stuff, and they try. I mean, that's all it is. That's really all I expected, and she exceeded the whole load there. So really, I mean, I guess that's the whole thing. Is just never judge a book by its cover, because you never know what you're gonna get on that cover. Um, because the story can be great and the person can be great, just like a story that you don't know what's going inside. I mean, if you see like, I believe certain great books don't have, they just have a black face, and you think that's gonna be boring, but it can be the most interesting book. I mean, she had a pretty face, but she became more than just, I'm a pretty girl and I have no personality. She became a human being that was fun to be around for 2 years, basically. Well, that you wished you got to meet them for more than that, but that's how things go. And I'd say that was probably like the funnest thing I did in college. More so, not just because it was sports, but you saw a person grow, and you kind of grew with the person there. So really, that's all I want to say. I kind of rambled a bit much, but really, that's about all I got to say. So that's it for me. Peace.